how long has this EP been done? Because if you ask somebody, hey, how long has your movie been done? Some of the answers I'm getting these days are, 3 years.
Yeah, about 3 years. No.
About a year though, right?
The EP's been done, probably about a year, a little bit more than a year. We've just been sitting on it because originally we were going to release an album.
Mm-hmm.
And then COVID hit and closed down everything. And then we were kind of like in limbo, didn't know what to do about anything. So then we decided, hey, you know what, let's just drop some singles. And then those singles became, hey, let's just do the EP. I mean, we have another EP already done and ready to go. So it depends on whether or not we can release it.
And some of those singles have charted to your credit already. But when in the process of recording did Midlife Crisis come about?
That was literally the very last song we recorded. Back in, what was it, September, David? I think September, we were on tour in Utah, of all places. And we decided inside the van, that we would do a cover song, right? And the Midlife Crisis live cover came on, or the live version of the song came on.
Brixton
and when
I think,
I want to say it was somewhere else. It was off of the Angel Dust Deluxe Edition. Okay. So it's on the second disc of that. And that kind of shuffled on. And for the longest time, these guys have wanted to do a Faith No More cover, right? And I would always say, no way. There's no freaking way I'm going to do Patton because I'm just going to get annihilated. But then I heard the live version, and the live version was slightly faster and more aggressive. So I was like, all right, we'll try this. So when we got back from tour, I think it was the beginning of October, we learned the song. And then we put our own spin on it, and we were in the studio, I think that third week in October. And I had finished tracking all my vocals really early. So we had like a whole extra day. So then we were like, you know what, let's do Midlife just in case.
I love the cover. I reached out to Bill Gould from Faith No More. He loves the cover. So I guess everyone loves the cover. Now, my question is, Rich, you had the hardest part, in my opinion, of any Faith No More song is how many different voices is Mike Patton going to do in this? Now, the drumming is very complex, but Dave, did you know how to play the song fully before you tracked it?
Pretty much. I just kind of listened to some of the starts and stops and a couple of the fills, but I agree. Richard had by far the hardest job to cover this one.
Well, David, talk about how you had to learn all the fills in reverse because Mike starts with his left hand.
Yeah, he plays left-handed, so he usually comes down on the cymbal on the one with his left hand. So I kind of had to learn how to play the fills as a right-handed guy, but still coming down with my left hand on most of the cymbals. It was kind of weird, but I mean, it was nothing to compare to what Richard had to do.
I thought it was easy to sing. No.
The irony on that is you're talking about how complex it is to learn a Mike Borden part, yet Mike Borden had to learn all of your parts in Korn. So maybe he was listening to you and going, oh, he does the right hand first? Oh, this is tough. So empathy.
That'd be funny.
Yeah. I hope they'll hear
it. Exactly. So this is a band. You've had charting stuff. You said that you have another EP in various states. Did you have to cancel a lot due to COVID?
No, the very last show we played was at the Whiskey. And I think literally the next day there was closures. So we haven't had to, cancel anything we already had booked. We just couldn't book anything at all.
Got it.
Yeah.
Is there?
Yeah, it was crazy. We literally played the last show at the Whiskey before everything shut down. And we were using that as our industry night to kind of try to shop around and then drop the album after that. And it just didn't happen.
Yeah. Weirdly, the Whiskey has kind of become the go-to venue for artists to do webcasts from in LA right now. So you were ahead of the curve with knowing to do the last show at the Whiskey, I guess.
We had no idea.
Exactly. So is there anything for the band that's concrete that you know is happening, and it's totally normal and okay if you go, no, we're waiting like everyone else?
Well, we're going to shoot another video.
Oh.
So, yeah. But we're not sure when we're going to release that. We're going to hold on to it for a little while.
Now, the video for Midlife Crisis is amazingly a recreation of the original video. Did you know from the start when you were covering the song, you'd also be covering the video?
No, actually,
No.
What happened was we recorded that to be kind of like an Easter egg on our album or EP that we were going to release. And then management heard it and they're like, you know what, you should release this as a single because, 2020 was crazy, right?
Yeah.
So what they basically said to us was, look, this is a song that's familiar enough to people, but you guys have your own spin that you put on it. So people will listen to it, because they know the song and then they'll pick up on the little nuances and the subtleties that you guys put into it. So then at that point, I thought in my head, hey, how about we cover the video too? You know what I mean? Most bands don't cover the video, so let's cover the video and go full tribute.
I love it. I don't love everything. I love what you guys are doing. But did you ever hear or see, and I'm putting you on the spot here, the performance of Midlife Crisis that they did on the Tonight Show with Jay Leno, Faith No More?
I've never heard
I think I saw that.
It's deep into the YouTube realm, but it's kind of funny to watch them do it. Mike Patton being sardonic as usual, and afterwards Leno having to come over and go, "Great song, guys! Great song! We love it." But
I need to go watch that after this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure there's been a lot of performances over the years like that for the Tonight Show per se. But this band, how did it come together? Did anyone know each other really before it formed? Did anyone play together first?
Joe and Chris and myself played in a band before this, and we broke that band up, and then we started looking for a singer, and then our friend Mike played guitar already, and we brought him in, and then we finally found Richard, and then it was just from there it happened.
Yeah, so I'll elaborate on that a little bit.
Sure.
So David, Chris, and Joe put out a singer search that they did. I want to say it was like in March or May of like 2018 or something like that. And at the time, I was at home just doing I was taking other artists' music and I was kind of cutting it up and rearranging the songs and singing over them for fun for myself. I know it sounds weird, right? But I was cutting that up and then I came across their singer audition and I was like, you know what? I want this music so I can do that to this, So I sent them my biography and some of my music that I had done. Mm-hmm. And I didn't hear back from them at all. I didn't hear back from them until, I want to say, if this was in March, I didn't hear back from them until the end of July. And one day I opened up my email saying, there's an email there saying, hey, better late than never, see what you can sing over this, right? And so I took this song, I heard it, and I was like, oh, this is cool. But it wasn't structured the way that I wanted it to be structured. So I took that song and I cut it up and I re-pieced it back together. And then I recorded vocals on it and I sent it back to them. And it took them like a week to get back to me. But I guess in that week they were listening to it and they were kind of all pissed off that I changed their music. I think you can elaborate on that, right, David?
Well, yeah, at first we were kind of put off at first thinking, who's this guy changing our music around? And that was the position everyone kind of took. And after like a day, we kept listening to it and we thought he made it better. He didn't mess it up. He made it sense because the structure we had really didn't even make good sense. It wasn't very good. So then all of a sudden the switch hit and everyone went, wow, he's structured the song the way it should be structured for vocals. This guy's really good. We got to get a hold of him and get him down here.
Was that a song that wound up on your EP?
Yeah, so that song was Hesitation.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. So, Rich, you're one of those positive YouTube stories, kind of like how people have bad Craigslist stories, people have bad YouTube stories. You're a positive one. I mean,
I guess so.
Thing get the Carson Daly talk show slot because of a YouTube show. We're seeing you get into this band. Journey found their guy through YouTube. One or two other high-profile bands found their singer on YouTube. Did you have any intention of properly joining a band, or was this just a on a whim kind of thing?
So like I said, I was doing all that for fun, right? Like, because I just love music, right?
Sure.
My wife was the one that was like, you know what, you need to go try out for these guys. Because when they sent me the invitation to come down and try out, I was like, nah, I don't want to drive 80 miles south every week to go jam with these guys. I don't want to be in a band. And my wife said, you know what, you need to go do it because music is your passion, and just go chase it. And I'm glad I did. I'm glad I listened to her at the time, because since then, you know, we've been able to create so much cool music with each other, you know, and I get to jam with one of my all-time heroes in a band, you know?
Right.
That's cool.
I associate heaviness when I think of the music that both of you have put out between this band and prior bands and all that. Was anyone a Van Halen fan, or was it just always straight to the heaviness?
I was a Van Halen fan. Actually, their first record was the first record I ever got in my life. A present from my parents on Christmas. So,
yeah,
yes.
I didn't really get into Van Halen all that much when I was younger. Like, my first metal band that I ever listened to was Metallica.
Wow. I find that people had to get their stuff from Kiss, Van Halen, or Motley Crue if they're a certain age. Then if they're a couple of years younger, it was Metallica or Slayer was somehow. But I usually like to find out what the gateway is, because you don't just go from top 40 to Metallica per se. What was your jumping off point, Rich?
Well, my best friend when I was, I think, 11 or 12 years old, got a guitar for Christmas. And I came over the next day. And when I came over, he was playing Enter Sandman on the guitar. And I was like, what? Oh, that's crazy. Let me see that. So he gave me the guitar, and I picked it up and I actually played it, and I found it like very satisfying. So at that point, up to that point, I was only listening to like rap. And I went home, begged my parents for a guitar. They bought me one the following week. And then after that, I just went searching for guitar-driven music. So I just picked up all the Metallica albums. I learned every single song from Kill 'Em All to the Black Album. I learned how to play and sing them both. So that's how I learned how to sing, because I'm a guitar player first. Mm-hmm. And then after that, I started going to Slayer and then Pantera.
Cool. Now, David, your drumming has always been all over the place in the best of possible ways. Like, for example, you can't just hear a song and that you played on and go, well, that's metal, because it could be metal and funk. It could be metal, funk, and a reverse disco beat, metal, funk, punk, a breakdown. It's always been all over the place. How much of that is training versus just kind of dumb luck, in a way, where you were just playing what you felt like and that was what was used?
I think it was just because of me growing up listening to certain or different types of music, you know, listening to Blondie or Motley Crue, or just, listen to everything. So when I started drumming, I don't think I did it consciously, but I think I kind of incorporated a few different styles of music into my style of drumming. And this is how it came out, genres rather than just one.
Sure.
Yeah.
Were you the technical proficient kind of player that would actually chart out your stuff, or was everything by ear?
Everything's by memory. We do have a big whiteboard in our studio where we do chart out songs, and I use it a lot. But yeah, just
and I like to stand in front of it.
So the band has a proper headquarters, rehearsal space, recording kind of space?
Yes, rehearsal for writing and doing demos.
That's great.
Yeah, it's not really a recording space. It's just our rehearsal space that we have a board set up and we can capture tracks, or they can capture tracks and send them to me.
Cool. You don't find that every band is doing that anymore, not just because of COVID, but because everyone is so digitally oriented. Like, for example, a guitarist that I interviewed a couple of weeks ago, he's in a big Swedish band, except he's Canadian. So he really just spends, like, I don't know, 7 days a year in the room with his band, but he's in that band. So it's refreshing to see people actually hang out, not just play together.
Oh yeah, we need to hang out. I mean, I come down for rehearsal once a week and they rehearse, I think, 3 times a week without me. But what they'll do is they'll send me full rehearsal recordings where I can hear all the banter that's going on and I can hear the music that's happening. And then I can call up Joe and go, hey, I heard that new part that you're working on and I don't think it should go like that. I think it kind of should go like this, right? And I'll give them input that way. And then when I come down, you know, we all work on the songs together. We all write together. And I think that's like a big difference with us because we get together in a room and we have all the camaraderie that we have. And we basically build a good foundation and a good relationship with each other. And that translates into the music.
Cool. Well, 2 quick questions for you that are not related to the music, and then you're both free for me. And the first one is, can you both pass along a TV show, like a recommendation for a new show to start watching in case someone needs a new series?
I don't know. I don't even hardly watch TV anymore. I don't know.
Okay, Rich?
I'll give one for you, Dave. You know, I started watching Cobra Kai and I was like, oh, this is super cheesy, but then I totally got into it. Once season 3 hit, it got like really, really good. It wasn't so campy and cheesy. So that's a good show. Another good show is The Queen's Gambit. It's about chess. It's very intelligent and the acting is superb.
Cool. With Cobra Kai, have you been picking up on all the hidden metal references? Like, for example, the zebra t-shirt, or he listens to a lot of Rat or anything like that?
I mean, you hear it, but I'm not looking so deeply into it because I started that show kind of as like a bedtime show where I can just put on some nonsense and pass out to it. And then I started getting into it as I was trying to pass out. So then I just started watching it.
Good passing out. Well, my closer for both of you, and this could be actual advice or can it be actually just go to our website, is any last words for the kids? We'll start with David first. Any last words for the kids?
For the kids, I think they'll really like this band. It's kind of a throwback music with a modern twist on vocals. It's really good. I'm really happy with this band. It's really, really good. Everybody plays their instrument perfectly. Rich is an amazing singer. And I think we have some really great songs for people to dig. I think kids are going to bounce to it.
Cool. Rich, anything to add?
I want to tell the kids out there to continue to play music because non-electronic music is dying and we need to have a new breed of musicians out there. So keep playing and
yes, we do.
Get real live music out there.
And that's what you guys are doing. So
that's what I'll say. Play real instruments.
Play real instrument. Yeah. I hope to see you guys live in New York when things get normal again. But until then, just stay awesome.
Cool, man. Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Paltrocast.